This is not a converted carriage house. 4-inch white oak doors. Heating system around the outside is original to the building. 1913. There's a reconstructed boiler below us we finished this past summer, which heats the garage this time of year. Cooling system at a much later date. Alfred never saw that well after his death in 1935. Alfred owned the very first privately owned automobile in the state of Delaware. 1897 single-cylinder Benz, before it came known as Mercedes-Benz. Car lived as Jesse's car. 1924 Cadillac touring sedan with a very custom-designed body to it, reminiscent perhaps of a horse-drawn carriage. Look at the roof rack, 2 side doors, not 4, very interesting carriage lanterns, inside just as nice with velour-type seating and crystal sconces to hold fresh-cut flowers. Jessie loved the car. She wanted to keep it. Alfred, on the other hand, wanted to turn it in. So obviously they kept it. But what he did do is send the 1924 Cadillac to Fleetwood, Pennsylvania, home to Body by Fisher. Had the 1924 Cadillac remounted on a 1934 Cadillac chassis and engine. Give essentially 2 new features. Much improved front end suspension, probably call it rack and pinion steering today. Also gave him steel beam headlights. This is the original hybrid automobile because it was a 1921 6-cylinder French Renault. He had it sent to Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. Also remounted on 1934 Cadillac chassis and engine. Now the front ends are virtually identical except for the fenders. 1934 fenders, 1924 fenders. Now while this car was in Fleetwood, one of the technicians wanted to make it a more distinctive looking automobile. So they fabricated the cane side panels that you see lacquered to the doors and the rear of the car. This then became an early version of what? Woody, very good. Woody station wagon. Alfred always way ahead of his time. But why Cadillac? Who makes Cadillac? GM. Recall the relationship between the early GM company and the early DuPont company. This gentleman says yes. They were one and the same. Pierre, for the video, had purchased GM to keep it going bankrupt and served as chairman of the board for both GM and DuPont until the government split them apart. So Alfred not done something we're not a General Motors product. All right, he died in 1935. Jesse did not share his same love affair with Cadillacs because Jesse liked Rolls Royces. 1951 6-cylinder Rolls Royce Silver Wraith. But it is not silver. What do you suppose her favorite color was? Blue, absolutely. I don't know how Rolls Royce felt about her repainting her Silver Wraith, but this is a custom DuPont automotive paint, a Duco paint, custom colored blueberry blue, which probably makes the car fairly valuable. Having said that, the prize of the garage is this next one. This is a 1960 Rolls Royce Phantom 5 town car. It's the town car designation that makes it valuable in that only 10 were built. Where's Rolls Royce manufactured? England. So 10 were built in England. Who do you suspect owns number 1 of 10? We live in a second. Absolutely. It's no longer in service. It is actually on the decommissioned Royal Yacht, the Britannia, which is currently in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's 1 of 10. This is 2 of 10. Somewhere 3 through 10, one is owned by Sir Elton John, and another one is owned by Wayne Newton, a Las Vegas fan. This is an immense car, approaching 21 feet in length, approaching 6,000 pounds in weight, and has an immense inverted engine. Now, despite all of it, length and weight and engine displacement guaranteed by Rolls-Royce to give the owner of this fine, custom-crafted automobile 10 miles to the gallon on a downhill grade. It has 3 unique features. It has leather interior. Only 15% of the cars manufactured worldwide in 1960 had leather interior. It has air conditioning. Only 5% of the cars manufactured worldwide in 1960 had that. But it has a feature I suspect that no other car has. Because on the rear floor, you'll find a padded cylinder, yay long, burgundy in color, which is a padded charcoal-fired foot warmer to keep her feet toasty warm in the winter months. Now, somehow I think a live flame on the rear car floor is not a smart move, but it must have worked because the car is still here, and Jesse died of natural causes. Next car, 1933 Buick Sport Coupe, Straight engine, capable so they tell me 100 miles per hour. Never had that high or attempt to try. Rumble sick in the back would be unsafe at any speed, so says Ralph Bader. Jackson bought this in 1933, drove for 2 years. He died in 1935. Less than 10,000 miles on the car. Tag in the back, however, says 1972 in Florida. Why Florida? That's where he died. Remember, 1921, he married Jessie, school teacher, in California. Unhappy with the winters in Delaware. Would probably not be thinking too highly of today's weather out here today. So in 1923, they built a home in Jacksonville, in Epping Forest. 1926, another pivotal moment in Alfred's life created by cousin Pierre. Remember Pierre from the video? Pierre became the tax assessor for the state of Delaware. I was not about to let anyone know, in particular Pierre, know how much money he had or what he was doing with it. So he moved everything to Florida, became a Floridian. Buying land and banks and railroad and timber from Jacksonville all the way west of Port St. Joe. Up until 2 years ago, the Nemours Trust, which is headquartered in Jacksonville, was the largest private landholder in the state of Florida. They were number 2. All right, you own an island. Small private island called Cherry Island in the Little Choptank River opposite Cambridge, Maryland. People get on top of the platform, look inside the motorcraft, if you will, which was used to move food, supplies, and guests across the Little Choptank River to his private island retreat. Red Wheel Surrey went back and forth to school. Remember where the school was? A little gray building, red roof on top, called the Rain's Nest. Horse drawn. Now, careful now. Were horses ever kept in this building? No. No, very good. Thank you very much. Designed solely and exclusively for automobiles. The door behind you is a chauffeur's quarters. Very nice 2-floor apartment. Chauffeur, wife, and family. Across the light fixtures is a hallway, illuminated by 4 windows in the front of the garage. Backside the hallway are several small rooms. What might they be used for? Well, you were being entertained by Alfred and Jessie at Nemours. You were probably here for a month or more. What would Alfred do with the visiting chauffeurs in the 20s and 30s before we had Motel 6s and Holiday Inns? Very nice accommodations upstairs for the visiting chauffeurs. Always taking care of those less fortunate than he. Roll door was a service bay, the card for all service here on the estate. Nancy and I would love to take you up for a spin this afternoon, in a small group, perhaps. 2 problems with that. It's a 3 o'clock tour, and there are no batteries in the cars. Periodically, we reinstall the batteries, service the engines, and drive them here on the estate. We no longer take them off the estate for a variety of reasons. The last one to leave was the 1960 Rolls. We took it over to winter to the first weekend of May every year for the point-to-point races. On your tour today, you went up a set of stairs, you went down a set of stairs. And the 4 enamel heads you see on these walls used to be on the stairwell, as well as in the reception hall. Now, I don't know it for a fact. I just assume one of the first things that Jessie said upon the death of her husband in 1935 was, those things are out of here. Because they're not in the garage. In 2005, we closed for 3 years of restoration and spent roughly $40 million. $15 million in the house and $15 million in the gardens and about $8 million in that visitor center. But during those 3 years, they came from somewhere mounted in these walls. We do know he shot them all. Avid hunter, even after losing one eye in a hunting accident in Virginia, you'll find his false eyes in a case in the visitor center. Typically, he hunted in Tennessee, Kentucky, Wyoming, and Virginia. But most, if not all, these trophy heads came from his trips to Wyoming. As you leave the garage, be very careful to go off that one step and back onto the bus. As you leave the garage, look at the room on your left. That was his workshop, skilled machinist and metalworker. Remember I told you he designed and constructed a pumping mechanism that went to the pump house? This is where it was done. With the equipment against the far window, about a yard long. It's on a bench in the far window. That's the original 1935 Caroline Tower mechanism. Today it's a computer-driven system. Be very careful leaving the garage. We'll drop you back to this gate. You want to walk the grounds, you can until 3 o'clock. Otherwise, we take you directly back to the visitor center.